The applause says it all. That was a thought-provoking lecture on public service, and we are privileged to have heard it from a highly distinguished public servant, Mr. U K Sinha. We will now have a question and answer session with Mr. U K Sinha. I'm sure many of you are keen to pose questions to Mr. U K Sinha. Those who wish to ask questions, please raise your hands and call for the mics from the attendants. You're requested to announce your name before putting forth your questions. The time available for the Q&A session is only 10 minutes. Therefore, in order that Mrs. Sinha can take more questions, kindly keep your questions short, and we request you not to make long comments. Please.
Good evening, Mr. Sinha. It's a very good talk. Sir, we are buying shares at book value at the market price, and we are getting dividends on face value. For the corruption, put all invoices, bills, vouchers, expenses, borrowers' credit, licenses, approvals, complaints on the website, all cheating will stop. And how can or what will make public servants responsive or proactive? That is what you have not told us. How can they clear the roads and make the roads non-potable? That you should tell us. Good quality water, how to get it? We are not thinking of that. They say you have time to read that it is coming in the newspaper on the channels. Why don't you make time to see that they are doing their work correctly? Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Mr. Sinha, thank you. It was very nice hearing you. I'm Pushpa Bijula. I'm a freelance journalist. The public service and the shifting paradigm. I don't know if you've taken cognizance of the fact of the change that Aadhaar will bring into our country, and the nuclear agreement which has already brought into our country. Aadhaar, if you know, has been contracted with 3 American companies, and no privacy or confidentiality documents have been signed, and they are going to sell it in the world market. What is the protection that you are? What is the action that you are planning, keeping this in mind and understanding the consequences? Thank you.
Good evening. I am Abdul Pari. I've been attending this talk many times, but today's is one of the best. I am very happy you have touched on this collective conscience with Mahatma Gandhi always impressed us. I wanted to ask you whether have you jettisoned the policy of Mahatma Gandhi as envisaged in his Hind Swaraj, the Charter of India in which he had written? And the second question I want to ask you is what is the protection which SEBI gives to the minority shareholders? Of late we find many companies trying to buy minority stake by giving a price, and recently we had an experience of Hindustan Lever price before the closure date hovering below 600. I've been watching it for 2 months. After the closure date it shoots up to 625, 650. And so there was a write-up in Economic Times that the price of HUL may touch to 450. Now, doesn't this detrimental to investors' interest? Thank you.
Just one last question, please.
Good evening, sir. Vikas Vignani. The question is that the impression that we generally are getting right now is that this public activism is actually leading to the indecisiveness. This is an impression that is actually going in the media, because most of the things get discussed in the media before they actually get discussed. Where, according to you, the line needs to be drawn so that the action is actually seen on the ground. Whatever the efforts the honest sector, the government, the policymakers are putting in are actually visible. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. This is related to secondary market. Many of the scripts are shifted to periodic call auction, and the poor investors can't sell and buy the shares. What are the steps you are going to take? Sir, please reply.
Good evening, Mr. Sinha. I'm Rohan Peswal from HR College, and I wanted to ask you what is your opinion on the recent FDI changes? It's a very broad topic, but we'd like to know a bit about it.
Friends, I thought, keeping the solemnity of this occasion, we would restrict ourselves to matters and questions concerning the subject that we have discussed just now. I don't want this to become a SEBI platform. I happen to be working in SEBI, but my views are not entirely, or what I talk entirely, dependent upon what I am doing in SEBI. So those of you, and I can see some of the faces can always meet me, we can discuss about SEBI related issues, because it's not very easy to answer. I'd like to take one particular question about the impact of or the consequence of public activism on decision making. I mentioned it that I am not an original thinker who has brought it to your notice. There are any numbers of senior political leaders, economists, analysts who have been holding this view. And I also give you the example, and a very recent example, 25th of July, in US, where the SEC, US SEC, a government appointed accountability office, has given this recommendation, this finding, that because of what is happening and how the criticism is taking place and how SEC is being treated, the staff of SEC are very, very afraid in taking any decision. So I don't have to give you any evidence from here. There are evidence, and I must clarify that whatever I said, I made it repeatedly clear that it is also happening in other parts of the world. My purpose today was that all of us start thinking that what is the future direction in which we want to go. There have been problems with the bureaucracy, there have been serious problems with the civil services, there have been insensitiveness, it is continuing even today, no denying the fact. My only thought was to start thinking whether the solutions which we have invented, are those solutions being taken in the right direction. If you agree that we have to think on those lines, and that is how I ended my purpose to this, sir. Thank you.
On behalf of CCOM Limited, I would request Mr. Baldev Singh, MD of CCOM Limited, to give a memento to Mr. U K Sinha. On behalf of the Lalit Doshi Memorial Foundation, I request Mrs. Pratima Doshi to present a memento to Mr. Sinha. I would now request Mr. Prem Kumar to deliver the vote of thanks.
Friends, year on year we have been conducting these proceedings in a particular format which might suggest that we are just reenacting a ritual every year which conforms to a particular parameter. But the fact is that this formality since 1995, when Mr. Wargol delivered his brilliant exposition on spirituality and modern life, has continued with the presence of distinguished persons like all of you in the audience, which is testimony to the fact that this is not a mere formality. And let me assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that your presence is much more than your just being there. And it is through your sustained encouragement that the foundation has the direction in which they are performing today, and in more ways than one, it is an acknowledgement and endorsement that the direction is right. We thank you. So therefore, departing probably from convention where the chief guest is first thanked, I would like to thank all of you this evening for your indulgence and for the encouragement which helps the foundation and all of us to move ahead in our charter. Thank you for your gracious presence and your support. Mr. Sinha, as the chief guest, has delivered a lecture which is very close to the hearts of all of us civil servants who have been sitting here. I might venture to add that he wears today a crown, which is a crown of thorns, no doubt. And I wonder what psychology hits him when he opens the newspapers every day, particularly the pink papers, which day in and day out has a feature on SEBI and most often with his photograph. I suppose what Bharat mentioned of the compassion, that being a good human being, he is able to take the ups and downs with equanimity. But what he has mentioned today in terms of bringing in certain limitations on the overkill on transparency is, I think, extremely relevant, and I'm tempted to recall a saying from an author who I can't remember, that civilization is the progress towards a society of privacy. The savage's existence has been in the public ever since he is in the earth, or something of that nature. Civilization is the progress towards a society towards privacy. The savage's whole existence has been public. And these days, when it is an age of regulators and in the interest of transparency, you have a whole host of litigations and a whole host of queries. Having been a cricketer and a cricket lover, I would only like to mention here that if the BCCI, today which is run as a private body registered under the Cooperative Societies Act under Tamil Nadu, is declared to be a public authority under the Right to Information Act, what prevents all of you corporates who are funded by a huge equity base funded by the public, what prevents all of you from being declared as a public authority? And unless all of us are sensitive to this issue and we sensitize those in authority, I think very soon all of us will be caught with our pants down. So I think he has very relevantly thrown a note of caution on all this, and being the sole regulator today, I think he has a definitive role, particularly when new tools of manipulators have succeeded in bringing out Ponzi schemes. I think he has to put those Besharam operators on the one side and also help out, as Bharat mentioned, the Bay Sahara poor investors. Then he has to ensure that they get a good deal. So you are the man of the moment now, Mr. Sinha, and thank you so much for your erudite lecture. Mr. Bhatia has presided over this evening's function, and he was here last year as well, which is a minor record in itself because the Chief Secretary attending 2 consecutive sessions 2 years is, I think, something of a record when the myth of fixity of tenure has been exposed time and again. And he had mentioned about his constraints of time, but thankfully you don't have a Durga Shakti Nagpal representing to you the transfers which are happening, and hopefully, despite the sand mafia operating in Maharashtra, things of that nature will never happen in Maharashtra. Thank you so much for your presence. I must then, of course, record the presence of the foundation headed by Mrs. Pratima Doshi and the family with Bharat Doshi and all the other trustees who are present here, carried on the work of the foundation so well, and we look forward to this continued assistance and encouragement of yours in helping the poor and the downtrodden. Mr. Baldev Singh here is the MD of CCOM, and this is the foundation which is run along with CCOM, and we hope that as the CEO, things will continue in the same direction. Thank you all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope to see you this time again next year.
As we conclude today's program, on behalf of the trustees of the foundation, I wish to thank you all for joining us today.